Call the meeting to order. Judy, you can take roll. 6 o'clock. And number 2, approval of the consent agenda, A through F. Take it away, Bryce.
Well, if there's no questions about the board minutes from last month, get into the general fund encumbrances and checks. This page right here, I'm looking at first, there's not much on there. It's kind of a little bit odd. We just didn't see some bills, I guess, in normal times. And
There's
so,
2 of those in there.
but there's one, these are encumbrances, right? These are the checks that have been.
There's also some checks in there too.
Oh, there is on this one? Oh, they're hiding in there. Okay, thank you. That's why I did it. Okay. So there's 2 of those sheets, all right. But like I said, most of those things are monthly expenditures. I'm looking through this other sheet right now, sorry. Chaz W. Carroll, that one is not normal expenditure, yearly expenditure, but the audit expenses for $9,550, that's on there. We have a couple others on there. Lucky's Fixture Company, we have a nice machine that shelled out on us, and we needed to replace it, so that was a little over $6,400. So that was an additional expense that we usually don't have. That was general fund. Like I said, there's not really anything out of the ordinary there with those.
I don't think that there's anything else really done.
Other than payroll, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's why it wouldn't be in there.
I mean, the only thing out child nutrition is the Keystone.
Okay. All right. So, kind of business as usual there with those. Andrew or Amanda, do you have anything to report with the activity fund or treasurer's reports? Good. We do have some other items on there, some fundraisers. We usually do that at this time for FCCLA. Request to travel to Denver, Colorado for nationals. We're not sure yet how many students that might be, but it's kind of like to put that on there and get that approved ahead of time. I think that she will probably be taking several, the way it looks right now. So I'm looking forward to see how those state events turn out for them. And then on fundraisers for FCCLA, pay-to-day calendars, something that they did last year, and then a dinner and silent auction. Girls basketball, their free throw fundraiser to help pay for summer camps and practice gear, and then football, host a team camp again, to help purchase equipment.
Any questions or discussions? good, Shane?
Yes.
In that case, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, A through F. Do I have a second?
One second.
Desiree, second. Judy?
Littlefield,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Gibson,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Number 3, principal's report.
I'll go first. This month honestly flew by. I couldn't even remember what all went on this month, but, not to mention it's been a Monday. But, on the 16th, I'd just like to, draw everyone's attention to our Cherokee Elementary Facebook page. Like, if you don't follow it, there's so much good stuff that, is on there, so I'd invite everybody to follow it. But, on the 16th, I had the pleasure of taking 9 students who had gotten, our classes set individual AR point goals. And so 9 students had met 100 points. That was Caleb Kiner, Ruben Heim, Claylee Bassard, Eileen Ordonez, Bella Supernall, Carson Peterson, Kate Collins, Jocelyn Ordonez, and Marley Tidwell. So I got to take those 9 out for lunch that day, and it was super fun. We had a good time. On the 17th, our 3rd graders all did their hot bottle president project in the gym, and it's just so fun. They do a research project to go along with it, and then they make their pop bottle presidents to display for their parents, so that was fun to have that going on. Right now, we have our book fair going. Mrs. Cudmore has done an amazing job decorating the library and making that a fun time for our kiddos, so that's going on right now, and we're just getting ready for our parent-teacher conferences and spring break. So.
Yeah. High school, there's lots of stuff going on. I asked Mr. Press to give us an update on our speech and debate students, because they've been attending a lot of events. He said so far they've had, the speech team has 19 students qualify and 32 events for a regional tournament, which is March 24th and 25th in Northwestern. And for reference, last year they had 10 students qualify for 14 events, so a lot higher numbers. Mr. Paris and Mrs. Ware had 15 students compete at the district vocal music contest with solos. All 15 received a superior rating. 14 of those will compete at the state vocal music contest April 20th or 21st. The only reason all 15 aren't is because one's an 8th grader and they can't go to state until they're in high school. So, and speaking of that, Mr. Paris was selected to receive the Medal of Excellence in Secondary Teaching. That's from the Oklahoma Foundation of Excellence. There are only 5 secondary teachers statewide that receive that. He was nominated and they chose him with, I doubt they had to hesitate on choosing him. So it's a huge thing for him to get, but also for our school to be recognized, to have him on staff. So big shout out to Mr. Paris for that. Carson Schombacher has been selected as a delegate for the youth tour for 2023. This June, she will have the opportunity to experience Washington, D.C. and be part of the program that encourages leadership and civic responsibility. That's through AEC. I think she was one of Mr. Schombacher, 2 or 3 chosen, and they got to choose the trip they wanted to take. I think there might have only been 2 that were chosen, and she was one of them, and she chose the Washington, D.C. trip. So it's a pretty big deal. Another one, Caitlin Matskill has written a poem, My Perfect Painting, that has been selected by the Oklahoma Council of Teachers of English to be published in this year's Young Writers Anthology. And then they're going to have a banquet April 20th. I think it'll also the day on that one. I can't remember off the top of my head, but she'll go down and receive an award and actually probably get to read that poem to them. So that's pretty cool too. That should be published. Basketball has come to a conclusion for the year. The Orient Conference, we're in 2 conferences, the Orient and Cherokee Strip. In the Orient Conference, we had several achievements. All conference girls were Abby Guffey, Carson Schombacher, and Riley Hensley. Chesney Berry was honorable mention. And for all conference academic, and in the Orient, that's seniors only with a 3.5 or above, was Anna Alvarez, Riley Hensley, and Abby Guffey. So the boys in the Orient all conference was Colby Roberts, Kai McHenry was honorable mention, and Aiden Sanborn was academic all conference in the Orient. And for the Cherokee Strip, Coach Pruitt was selected Coach of the Year. All conference was Abby Guffey and Carson Schombacher. Honorable mention was Riley Hensley. And the academic all-conference there is juniors and seniors with a 3.5. And Anna Alvarez, Riley Hensley, Abby Guffey, and Carson Schombacher all were chosen for that. And on the boys' side, Kai McHenry was all conference in the Cherokee Strip. Honorable mention were Colby Roberts and Jaden Peterson. And the academic all-conference there, once again, juniors and seniors with a 3.5 was Aiden Sanborn, Kai McHenry, and Xander Jackson. I know FFA and FCCLA both attended their day at the Capitol. I can't tell you the dates on those, but FCCLA went 1 week and FFA went the next week on Wednesdays. I believe that was the order they went in. And I haven't got all the results from Mrs. Snyder because I'm not sure I've seen her in the last 2 weeks. But I know all our students did well at the local show, the county show, and we actually, I think, have 4 in the premium sale tonight. I think Price Po was the grand weather, yes. So, lots of them doing great. And we had several that had exhibits inside at Enid that did well. I saw. I can't tell you exactly what all they've done, but I saw traps and gates and all sorts of things that they'd all placed on. So I'll have to get a list from her on that. Tyson and Triggering were selected to represent AEC at Energy Camp this summer. I never get our Student of the Month till a month out because at the end of the month I always have my teachers nominate, so they're nominating right now for February. But for the December, January, since we had 2 short months, we did Student of the Months were Jordan Luster and Riley Hensley for the high school, and Rain Willett and Anna Roglin for the middle school. So I'm sure I missed a lot, but there's a lot going on. Parent-teacher conferences Wednesday and Thursday 4 to 7. Baseball, softball start tomorrow. First track meet here is on Friday. We don't have school this Friday, so, and spring break.
Thank you, guys. Number 4, discussion and vote to approve or not to approve the annual contract with ADPC for the 24-25 school year at a cost of $55.20. That's no increase from the previous year.
This is the same company that we've used for several years, and Samantha and Judy are very familiar with that software, so I would recommend that we continue using them for the next contracted year.
Any questions on that? Motion?
I'm going to ask
Oh,
one
go.
clarifying question. This says 24-25 school year. It is 23-24.
It is,
though.
yes, it is.
Okay. Thought,
Just think if
man,
y'all reading your agenda.
she said it was Monday, but I thought, okay, you really did go by. That's what I had already. Okay. So to the 23-24 school year.
Roger that.
Make a motion to approve the annual contract with ADPC. For the 23.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Desiree made the motion. Heather second. Judy?
Littlefield,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Gibson,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Number 5, superintendent's report.
Well, like they said, we have been busy, so I've got a few things here that I want to make sure and talk about. The first one, over spring break, we will be installing some new windows in the building. The northeast corner of the junior high end, our classroom down there that will become our new junior high science classroom / lab for next school year. And then the windows around Mrs. Jordan's office. We'll be using some of our ESSER funds to do that project. But I'm told that if it stays on schedule, then we'll be getting those installed over spring break. So that will be good, and then we're going to do some additional covering over the glass that's there on the outside of that. So the rest of the north end got a facelift a couple of years ago, so may not be a noticeable difference for some. I think it'll look really good, and it's definitely needed. I believe those are probably still the original windows, so probably overdue. That will get done over spring break. Along with the students, we've been busy as well. Back in mid-February, we attended a training in Nebraska that I mentioned before for capturing kids' hearts. Both of our counselors, both principals and myself, attended that training in Omaha. It was 2-day training. to implement, and that will require some additional staff training this summer. But we all came away from that very encouraged and excited about what that program is. And I can talk for a long time about what it is, but basically, this is part of our school culture and climate plan. And I think that what we took away from it was we do a lot of those things here, and we do them pretty well. But there are things that we need to be more intentional about. And I think that by doing those and having a plan for those things, kind of getting on the same page district-wide, I think it's going to create a lot more positivity for the students, number one, but also for our staff, and I think it'll help us build some relationships with parents and other community members too. So we're pretty excited about what that's going to look like for us moving forward. Great organization. Like I said, we really enjoyed the training up there, and looking forward to bringing that to everybody here this summer. We also, this past week, Mr. Pruitt and Mrs. Patterson and myself, we went to the K-20 Center in Norman and attended a 2-day leadership seminar with them. This is part of the first step in a long grant possibility or process for technology needs. But the first part of that is we have to go through that training just to kind of establish the foundation so that we can write those grants later on. It's really, from this point forward, it takes about 10 months before we can even get the application ready to turn in. So probably won't be anything that we would see if given the grant for next school year, but it would be for the following year after that. Lots of planning, lots of meetings are going to have to take place between now and then. And like I said, it's, with any grant, there's no guarantee. But the training that we went to even last week, I think all three of us took away a lot of positive things from that. Just organizational leadership, things that we can do better ourselves, structures that we can provide for our teachers, whether those be in group meetings, grade level meetings, lots of things. Just some really good stuff that we took away from that. So that was really good, and we're looking forward to that. Last week, bad news side, we did have a bus accident last Thursday morning out on Highway 11. So I just kind of want to give everybody just a little bit of an update and be able to clarify some things with that. So as the bus was driving down Highway 11, it was getting ready to make a left-hand turn onto County Road 630. And in the process of doing that, a pickup with a stock trailer tried to pass the bus at the intersection. And luckily, just kind of sideswiped the front of the bus. Nobody was injured. Everybody was good. Obviously, the driver was a little bit shaken up, but checked on everybody first thing the next day as well, and everybody felt good. It was okay there. So the bus is pretty scraped up and banged up in the front of it, so it's out of commission right now, but we'll get the insurance adjusters out here and get that going and try to get that corrected. But could have been a lot worse. Felt like our bus driver did a very good job making sure that it wasn't worse and doing everything that they could do. I want to make sure that we do thank our fire department, EMS, law enforcement, everybody that responded to that accident. I can tell you firsthand that's not a good feeling when you get a page for something like that. But everybody was great, responded well, communicated with us very well. Never felt like I was just sitting around waiting, because like I said, we were out of town when this did happen. And so I thought they did a great job. Colby Arnold and K&J came out there and helped us get some tires taken off the back to put back on the front so that we could get the bus back to town. And so I really appreciated him, and I reached out to him that day, telling him thanks for his crew and what they did there to help us during that time. Of course, our staff, just, kind of jumping into action and taking care of things and getting things done in a situation like that, that's never fun. And like I said, we're very fortunate that everybody's okay. So on the lighter side, today, Amanda and I got to go downtown and we received a donation from Tiffany at the Boho Funky Flamingo for $4,424.82. That is for our student lunch fund. So we've been doing this for a couple months now, collecting donations. Mainly is just tips. There, I think she's received some from out of town. I think by putting the word out there on our Facebook page. But I mean, a little over $4,400 to come in was just, it's awesome. It's just great. Huge show of generosity from her and everybody that contributed to that. Like I said, we'll that money will go into our child nutrition program, and we will make sure that donation gets distributed in an equitable manner, so that it can have the best impact possible. And so I know that will help out some families, right now with that added expense of school lunches this year, which I will add. I think everybody has been, great as far as getting things paid when those bills come out, and we really appreciate that. I know that's tough, and that's a change we've had to make. We haven't had to do that in a couple of years, but it's not been bad. But things like this just really help out a lot, and I think show just how great our community is in meeting needs, especially when it comes to our school. So the last thing I want to say is I just want to brag on everybody because if you heard in the principal's reports, and it was echoed, I mean, this time of year, it just gets super, super busy. And we have all the things going on, but from basketball, baseball, softball, track, FFA, FCCLA, speech and debate, music contests, book fairs, classroom projects, academic achievements, contests, and awards. If you get on social media at any time, it does not take long to find something good, positive that our kids are out there doing. And it takes a lot of great kids, a lot of great people to make those things happen. And I just, saying thank you isn't, enough. But man, I mean, like I said, I just really, as busy as it gets, when you step back and look at how busy we are, and then look at the successes that the kids are having in all of these programs and all the things that we do, and the awards to, like Mr. Pruitt was saying, for Mr. Paris, it's just awesome. And so, the saying is, it takes a village, and we've got a great one, and I just, appreciate everybody, and appreciate you all as the board for ensuring that all of our students have those opportunities. So not everywhere offers the things that we offer, and not only offers those things, but performs very well at a high standard. So, yeah, good job, everybody. That's all I've got.
Thanks, Chris.
The windows, after the windows are paid for with ESSER funds, are there any left, or is that going to be the end of ESSER funds?
Any
Is that-
windows left? or-
After you pay for the windows out of ESSER fund, are there going to be any of those funds left, or is that probably
yeah.
going to be the end of it?
No, there's a lot of funding left. That's, I think, that we had $457,000 to start this year, so next year we've got several things earmarked, but, yeah, and then those go away during the next school year, so.
Did our bus driver or the other driver get the ticket?
I don't know if they issued a ticket to the other driver, but our driver wasn't involved at all. So, I mean, he
It was all of the other-
stopped, signaled,
Somebody
Coming
tried
back
to
in
pass
behind,
a turning
behind.
school bus.
so.
Was it a company vehicle or a commercial vehicle?
I think it was a private vehicle.
That's what I was curious.
Yeah.
people get impatient when you're slowing down and making a left turn past 5 miles an hour,
Yeah,
including school bus.
yeah, it could have been more than that.
Yes, but just made it a little bit more deterrent.
Yep.
Anything else, Bryce?
That's all I got.
Okay. Everyone catch you short. Number 6, new business.
No new business.
Number 7, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Desiree, second. Judy?
Littlefield,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Gibson,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
6:26.